What's good? What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of The Urban Platform Speaks. Make sure to like and subscribe as you tune into the channel. Check out the content. And with that being said, man, I want to react to a video Scat made a couple days ago, and he seems to think that this decision by LeBron James to go to Philadelphia was his weakest decision of all, right? And so now, what I think about that, uh, the reason why I think is his weakest decision is because number one, I think LeBron James is the money, right? He's playing for the least amount of money that he has ever made. As far as at least in the last 10, well, from jump, like he's playing for basically $4 million a year, right? And so I think that, in my opinion, that's not really a good look for him. You don't want to go out like that. Like I said before in other videos, Michael Jordan, his last 2 years in the league, he made 30. Those were his biggest years. Where each one of those years he made over $30 million, right? But LeBron James chose to get all of his money up front, and over the last 10 years, he's made like $30 million each year, at least $30 million each year, right? But I think the way that LeBron James went about it is really going to hurt him. Not just these next 2 years, but after, right? You usually see guys who dedicate athletes who dedicate themselves to the game, and they go all out, and they wind up in the end getting paid, and then they'll also, even after their career over with, they'll be able to benefit from the hard work that they put in throughout the year. Whereas though LeBron James did it the opposite way, he wanted all his money up front, and now when it's time for him to retire, now you got LeBron James playing for the veteran minimum, right? So let me play what Scap had to say, because he makes some interesting points, I want to add to some of the points that he made, and just give my input. So here we go with what Scap had to say.
Well, it has all of a sudden been 16 years since LeBron James sat down at that Boys and Girls Club in Connecticut to declaratively proclaim he is, in fact, a ring chasing coward mercenary with little desire or belief in himself to be able to capture a viable, organic NBA title. And on the surface, that seems to be one of the weakest decisions in sports history, and particularly the most cowardly and pathetic one LeBron has made in his entire soon to be 24-year career. At the time, 26-year-old LeBron James, who had just completed his 7th NBA season, was coming off of back-to-back league MVPs in seasons his Cleveland Cavaliers had the best record in the entire NBA. Of course, James failed to deliver even a championship appearance in either of those 2 seasons.
Now, Scaff said that, I'm gonna stop it right here real quick. Scaff said that this was the most cowardly decision, right? I don't know. I think that at this stage in LeBron James' career, and he's done this, this is like his 4th team playing for us. So I don't know if I agree. I don't like the decision, but that's the way his career has gone, from the very beginning, ever since he left in 2010. It's been like that. So I mean, I just think at this point in time, why even switch up? This is how he has been doing things throughout his career. So I'm not surprised, and he want to win. He definitely want to win. So I'm not surprised, though. I don't think that this is the most. I thought it was from Jump Street, but I just think that now that he's been in the league, he should know better. So I guess if you look at it like that, you could say this is the most cowardly decision that he's made. But he's supposed to know better, at this time. But he just really don't care now.
So it was time to head off to Miami and join up with Dwayne Wade, who was fresh off of a season in 2009-2010, where he finished 5th in league-wide MVP vote, 10th in Defensive Player of the Year, was first-team All-NBA and second-team All-NBA defense, while finishing top 2 league-wide that season in player efficiency rating, box plus minus, and value over replacement. Joining a top 3 league-wide player and arguably the third best shooting guard ever in his prime, though, wasn't enough for reigning MVP LeBron James. He also had to recruit Chris Bosh, fresh off of a 24-point and 11-rebound campaign, which landed him his 5th consecutive All-Star appearance as he finished 4th that season in player efficiency rating. And at the time, never before had we ever seen such an utterly gutless move by an all-time great player. Yet on the cusp of his 24th season now in the NBA, LeBron James just said, "Hold my damn beer," and made, in my opinion, an even sadder and more pathetic decision this time. And let's go ahead and count the reasons why. First of all, LeBron James is now prostituting himself at the veteran minimum. This is a guy who just last season made $52 million, and there were reports circling around after the Lakers were gearing up to offer Austin Reeves a max extension, and they already.
And see, all right, so Scaff said that LeBron James is prostituting himself for the league minimum, right? Which like I said, and so LeBron James tried to change the narrative, right? He tried to say that he's playing for the love of the game and it's not about money, right? But most people don't believe that. I think LeBron James is in a situation where he feel like he have to play, and I've talked about that in videos, prior videos. I think when you're somebody who is reportedly worth $1.5 billion, right? You've been in the league for over 20 years. Why are you playing for $4 million a year when $4 million to you, if you're a billionaire, is not really a lot of money? So, but like I said, I have other videos where I talk about the money part of it, or why LeBron James hasn't retired, but let's get back into what Scat is saying.
Have Luka Doncic on a big contract. Well, there were reports that Rich Paul and LeBron James wanted a detailed explanation as to why the Lakers were going to ask him to take a pay cut of any kind if that was indeed what they were planning to do. They wanted a detailed plan, maybe a whiteboard session as to where that extra money that should be going to LeBron was going to be used to build the team for next season. We got from that point, LeBron basically still wanting in the $50 million range, or at least presumably somewhere $25 million plus. We went from that to LeBron clapping his cheeks for $3.9 million to take his talents to an already established super team. Now,
and see, that's embarrassing, right? That's why, it's more to it than just the money. LeBron James, $3 million, he playing for $4 million a year, and he's and then on top of that, LeBron James is going to be the 4th option, especially if Joel Embiid is healthy. So you got Joel Embiid, you have Jaylen Brown, and you have Tyrese Maxey. So LeBron James in that scenario with that lineup, LeBron James is going to be the 4th option.
Why do I say that was an already established super team? Well, we have Jaylen Brown joining the mix with Tyrese Maxey. That is 2 All-NBA caliber players. 2 guys who were designated to an All-NBA team last year who are in the heart of their absolute primes. Tyrese Maxey just completed his aged 25 season last year, where he was top 5 league-wide in scoring, was 3rd-team All-NBA, while Jaylen Brown just completed his age 29 season a year ago. He also was top 5 league-wide in scoring, and he finished with a 2nd-team All-NBA designation while snagging top 6 in league-end MVP vote. But look, it isn't just those 2 players, because former league MVP Joel Embiid is still on that team, and he is just 32 years old. He turned 32, by the way, in March. Last season was his aged 31 season. I know this guy is extraordinarily injury prone. He played in only 38 games last season, but he is still just only 32.
But the thing about Joel Embiid, I don't know. Some people say that, he got to give them 60 games this year in order for the team to be successful. I don't see how you're going to go from 38 to 60 games, and you're a year older than what you were. I don't see it. But if he do give him 60 games this year, then I think the Sixers are going to be very, very tough. I do want to see them even before LeBron James, announced that he was going to this team. I wanted to see, because I like, Jaylen Brown and Tyrese Maxey, right? So I wanted to see how those two guys were going to mesh. But LeBron James, man, playing for league minimum, being the fourth option on the team, that just shows the desperation that it's just desperation. And I believe that desperation comes from, there's some other things going on behind the scenes that people are not aware of. Like, LeBron James has to play basketball. So that's my take on it. Make sure to like and subscribe. Also, don't forget to leave a comment. And with that being said, man, I'm gonna check you all out in the next video. Peace.